Welcome. My name is Melinda Hart. You are watching Stamping with Hart. You can find me on my blog at stampingwithhart.blogspot.com. So yeah, we're going to be working on our paper pumpkin kit tonight. And this is a paper pumpkin that I am going to be walking through how to put them together. So, you know, if you haven't already liked the Facebook page or subscribed to the YouTube channel, be sure that you do that if you like to see alternate projects, because I will be making more alternates in addition to the one that we did tonight. I just wanted to put a couple of quick ones together. So let me go ahead and get started. So I'm going to show you guys the instructions. We'll walk through everything that you get. These two here are the cards that the paper pumpkin team designed and made. And then here are the two alternate cards, which I'll show you guys in just a moment. So this is the Kisses and Hugs January 2022 paper pumpkin kit. Absolutely adorable. I'm going to refer right to the back at first, because this is everything that you're going to get in your kit. We're going to walk through everything. And then we have our coordinating colors, which are Blushing Bride, Flirty Flamingo, Gold, Gray Granite, Very Vanilla, and White. We have some paper pumpkin alternate ideas here, which are also adorable. So we're going to make a couple of cards tonight, like traditional cards, but these are fold out cards, and they are trifold, which is really, really cute. So when I first got this kit, I was like, you know what? I'm not sure how to do this. Hi, Tracy. How are you? Hi, Marion. So that is one of those things where I definitely wanted to assemble this kit with you tonight, because some of the cards, the minute we look at the picture, we're like, okay, like we get the assembly. And then there are some kits that when I get it, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go step by step through the instructions. I'm going to follow it exactly. So that is what I did. Let's go ahead and walk through the pieces that you're going to get. This card kit has enough to make 10 cards. There's enough, you know, envelopes as well. So let me show you those. And they are so cute. Now, sometimes there's multiple, you know, patterns and things like that, different types of envelopes or linings. These are all the same. So these are all this really beautiful pop of pink. And then we have the lined inside that gold foil lining for the X's and O's. Absolutely adorable. You're also going to get, and let me go through the stamps, because every month in your paper pumpkin kit, you get a stamp set. So my stamps are all on blocks already, but these are the stamps that you get. So we have the outline heart, the fill heart, meaning the whole stamp is a heart. Love you, for you, friend. We have this fabulous arrow. An X and an O, this little, it's 5 dots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots, sending you love. And then this one, oh my gosh, that is like classic Valentine, isn't it? And then we have the word more over here, and you'll see why they did that in just a moment. And then for our die cuts, this is really cute. Okay, and the minute I saw this, I thought about the Stamparatus, honestly. So, and we can get into that another day. I'll work on that for the alternates. But for tonight, you're going to get a bunch of sheets of these, because we're going to be using these on our cards. This is where you would write your note or put your sentiment on your card if you would want to. And then, of course, we do have the white backing on the back of all of the cards too. Okay, so there are 2 patterns for our card bases here. There's more die cuts. I'll get to that in just a moment. So this is the first pattern, where we also have that gold foiling. Hopefully you guys can see that. We have the stripes, we have the little dots, and we have the X and the O. And this is that Very Vanilla. And then we also have this one here, which is stripes horizontally. We have our solid piece, and then we have the X's and O's pattern here. And this is a perfect example of what you can do with your stamps too. So that is that card base. I mean, aren't they cute? You don't even have to do anything to it. Just write a little note on it and be done with it. But of course, there's more fun to do. So we also have these vellum hearts. That's really cool. We have these. So they're these little die cut squares. And they have that same heart impression on them. There's 5 of these. And then we have these. Okay, and let me just see if I can pick this up. So we have this really large arrow. Hi, Deborah, how are you doing? We have this really large arrow here. We have these 2 hearts here. And you'll see they come on a sheet like this, and you get several of these as well. So we have a lot of repeat patterns here to make it really simple for putting your cards together. And then we have these fabulous iridescent, these do have adhesive backing on them, sequins. So hopefully you guys are catching that. Really, really fabulous. Those iridescent rhinestones did go onto back order. So if you got your paper pumpkin, no worries, because you have these fabulous iridescent sequins that you can use. And then of course we also have our adhesive. So we have the adhesive dots, and they provided a sheet of the mini Stampin' Dimensionals in this kit. And just to show you the difference in the size, here's what the regular one looks like. So just depending on if you get, you know, more than one paper pumpkin kit throughout the year, you'll get a variety of different types of adhesive, and by the end of the year, you're all set. So we have the minis for this particular project. I'm going to be using Stampin' Dimensionals that I already have out. So I'm also going to be using my large size ink pads, but the star of the show for this kit, which if I'm being completely honest, I was surprised to see, was gray granite. So I think the reason why they chose this is because this is a warm gray. This is almost like a cross between like a gray and a brown, and it's absolutely beautiful with pink. So I think maybe that's why they put gray in here, but that is not what I would have thought. I would have thought there would have been a pink in there or a red in there, but they always surprise me. So our inks are gray granite if you're just sticking to the kit. If you're going to do a couple of alternates like I did, get out your Blushing Bride and your Flirty Flamingo ink. The main 2 that I used were Flirty Flamingo and gray granite, but you know I'm really having a time with heat embossing lately. And when I saw gold all over this kit, I was like, yeah, I'm going to heat emboss. So hopefully you guys can handle me doing that. I just keep doing it. And I would like to blame it on Christmas, but I was doing it at Halloween too. And now I'm doing it for Valentine's Day. So I guess I'm just a holiday heat embosser. Okay. And then let me just show you the alternates really quickly. So we are going to make the paper pumpkin cards first, and then we'll make these 2 alternate cards. So let me just give you a little peek at these. This is how quickly the table can start to pile up, but that's okay. Let me just move those aside for 1 sec. All right. And here are the alternate cards. So here's the first one, and here is the second one. And I'll just show you what I did to kind of vary these up a little bit. But if you prefer the traditional card, or you want to do traditional size cards and not heart, shaped cards, in addition for Valentine's Day, I'll have more ideas for you. So here, I hope you guys can see that was heat embossed in gold. And then I did borrow my little heart die from Love and Happiness here. And then this one is the Love You. And this is actually the liner from the envelope. So let me see if I can find those. I think I have them on the bottom of my pile. So this liner here. So we'll get into that. But there's lots of things that you can do. And first things first, let's open up the instructions and make the paper pumpkin cards. So here are the 2 paper pumpkin cards. I'm going to start with the pink one. And I just think it's so cute. Now, if you're wondering, because I was wondering, when I first saw the instructions, let me show you. I'm looking at the instructions and I'm thinking to myself, but wait, how do you open the card? Or how do you close the card? So it took me a minute, I will admit, but we actually open it this way. So you can start with whatever one you would want, but basically you tuck it into your envelope just like so. At least this is how I'm thinking that we do it. Okay, so you tuck your envelope in. When they open it up, they will see that it opens like this. And if you're somebody who likes to write a lot, you have all of the backing that you could do, or you could double up and put a back side on it too. Okay, so if you are the type of person who you want that double-sided look, you don't want the back to be white, you could do that too. Okay, so that will just cut down on the number of cards that you can send, but we always find ways to do things with paper pumpkin. Okay, so here are the pieces that we're going to need for our first card. We're going to do our card base here. We're going to do one of these. So we need our arrow. We need one of these little squares, and we need 2 of the white hearts that have that gold foil frame. And you guys know how much I love frames. Tracy is saying, girl after my own heart, heat embossing. I know. Do you heat emboss a lot too? I do. I definitely do. I'm like, everybody's going to get really tired of hearing the heat gun, but I'll fast forward it in the replay. Okay. So we have 2 of these, and then let me see if there's anything else I'm missing. I think we got everything that we need for this one. So the stamp that we're going to be using is For You. Now, whenever you look at their instructions, their visual instructions, if you've never seen Paper Pumpkin Kit instructions before, depending on how many card designs there are in the kit, they'll have that many here on the visual page. There's 2 card designs. So this is card number 1. This is your ink spot, the gray granite ink. It's telling you to ink up For You and Friend. And then we're going to put For You on this die cut piece and Friend on this die cut piece. Then it walks you through how it wants you to assemble. These are the dimensionals and these are the adhesive dots. All right, so the one thing I did forget to mention, so occasionally Paper Pumpkin will do an add-on, and these are the boxes here. So if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can actually add these boxes on. They're really cute. You have the little mini box here. You get this gold twine, and you also get these pink hearts. So really, really sweet. They match perfectly back to the cards. And those, as far as I know, are still available, but things are changing quickly, so I'll keep you guys updated on that. All right, and then let's go ahead and put this together. So we'll do our stamping first. We're going to do For You on this one. I'm going to use my full-size ink pad, but of course, use your ink spot if you have it. And I'm going to get out my gray granite ink. And I will use gray granite on our cards here. Okay. So we're going to stamp this right under the heart. And then we're also going to stamp Friend, which, here it is. This is a really big block for this, but I was using up all my smaller blocks for this particular stamp set. And then let me just clean that off because I know I used that too. And I'm going to get one of these. I'm going to try to go center as best I can. All right. And then I'm going to set my ink pad aside for just a moment, and we can start putting this together. So they wanted this one up on dimensionals, this one flat, especially if you want to write on this heart. And this one is also going to get popped up on dimensionals. So let's start putting our card base together. And like I said, I'm going to use my big dimensionals because I already have that sheet going, but you can use your minis. Okay. Let me know in the comments do you send out Valentines? You know, do you give out Valentines, or do you do treats? Let me know. I definitely want to get those little boxes. I have not gotten them yet. All right, so we also need our little arrow here. no idea what I did with it. All right, so I'm just going to pop this one out. And then the mini dimensionals will definitely come in handy for this area here. So let me put one here and one here. Okay. And then I think the arrow is supposed to point to friend. So let's do it this way. We're going to do 2 more dimensionals, but I'm going to go at the top and the bottom on this one because we're going to stack it over the arrow. Okay, and then for the third one, you would just use your little mini dots, the little adhesive dots. I'm going to use my seal. This is the Seal Plus, actually. Okay, we'll put this one down flat. All right, so there we have card number 1. Okay, so for our second card, we're going to use the Very Vanilla card base here. And then we're going to need our vellum heart. We're also going to need this lighter pink, the smaller heart here. That's going to stack and layer. On this side, we're going to use this larger Flirty Flamingo heart with the lined white heart. Go. All right. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to put my sequins on the other card, so we'll do them both at the same time. All right, so we'll do a little bit of stamping on this one. We're going to do For You again. So let's get that stamp back out again. Grab my ink. I'm going to go right in the center. You should be able to see that okay. Okay. There we go. And then for this one, we get to use 3 stamps. So, and Paper Pumpkin, typically with the stamping, they keep it really simple, 1 or 2 stamps, not too many. So this is nice that we get this little extra stamp here. All right, and then I'm gonna just switch out this stamp with this block. We'll go back to that. So, Love You. Here we go. We're going to do Love You More. Love You. We'll do our arrow next. Cute, quick. Okay, and then here's More. If you do have more than one color in your collection, you're going to have a lot of fun with this. Okay. So we have Love You More. And let's go ahead and put this one together. I'm going to set this aside just one more time. All right, so for this one, we would do the adhesive dots. I am going to put a little bit of adhesive on this piece. Let's see if I can get this on. We want to put the adhesive in places where people aren't going to see it. So with vellum, it can show through. So just try to keep your adhesive hidden, meaning we know it's going to get layered. We know that this heart is going to go right over top. I'm going to put this heart on dimensionals, and this is all per the instructions. I literally put these together right before we got on the live, so it's fresh in my mind. Okay, there we go. And then we leave this panel alone. It's going to be the same with this one. So you would do your adhesive dots if you're brand new or you're just working within your kits. Just trying to center that. And then we're going to do this one up on dimensionals. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in my other card and we'll put our sequins everywhere because we can't go without our sequins. All right, so for this card, I really did stick to the instructions and put the sequins in the same places where they did. So let's do that. On this card, we're going to do 3 over here. It's so nice when your sequins already have the adhesive backing on them. Oh my gosh. All right, and then we're going to do 3 more on this heart. So we'll go high on that, and then under more, we'll do 2 more. Okay, and so here is card number 2. Hi, Mary, how are you? I'll go back through comments here in just a moment, but there is that first card. Let me bring this second card back in, and we'll put our sequins on here. So there's 3 that are supposed to go right under the word friend, and they just did them right in a row as far as I could tell. There we go. See if I can get that a little closer. I think that's good. All right, and then according to the picture, it looks like there were 3 that I missed here. So let's do 3 right in the center. Is it above? Yep. Above, below, and then 1 right on our little square here. And then we'll do the same on the card above so that we are uniform. But if you want to change yours up, with paper pumpkin, you could do whatever you like. Okay. And so you would fold this closed, tuck it into your envelope, and be ready to go once you add your little sentiment. Isn't that cute? So I absolutely love these. I think they're really simple, really adorable. And honestly, you guys, they're big. I mean, they're bigger than what I thought. Okay, so let's talk about the paper pumpkin alternates. So here are the alternates. This was what I kind of threw together here. Usually I will do the pieces in advance, but I didn't have time to do that before the live. So I'm actually going to do the die cutting with you on the live. Hopefully that's okay. Just giving you a heads up on that one. But what we're going to do is just create some cute little backgrounds here with our stamps that they provided in the set. So you'll notice that even though we had all those options with the stamps, we didn't get to use that super cute little heart with the arrows. So we're going to use that here. We also didn't get to use Sending You Love. So we're going to use that here. And then if you like to do combinations of a background, you could do your heart and your, love you comment in repeat. And that's just like a combination. So you could either make that a background pattern, or in this case, we actually made it the sentiment. So let's go ahead and make these 2. So we're going to need 1 Very Vanilla card base and 1 Flirty Flamingo card base. And what we're going to do is we're just going to trim off the sides of each one. And Mary is saying that she loves the cream, the Very Vanilla shade, and I do too. We don't use it enough. I think it's one of those things where I'm so used to using basic white all the time, and it's such a beautiful color. So the cream and the pink is just, it's very romantic, very soft. Okay. All right, so we're just trimming those edges off first. And I'm basically going to do a standard layer size. So I'm going to cut this at both of the score lines first. So I don't know if it would be easier for you to see this side or the other side. Let me do the pink. And we're just going to line this right up and cut. Get that panel off. We're going to line up and cut. I'm just going to set those pieces aside. And then this piece I want to turn into 4 by 5 1/4. And I don't know if this goes, yeah, it should go to 5 1/4. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put my little extras over here. All right. I did bring in a die set to use with this card. So this is going to be our 1 layer here. And then we're going to use the scalloped contour dies. So I believe this is the right size. Let me see if I can get you the measurement on that. 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. Okay. So we're going to cut that. And then we're also going to cut 2 more. So we're going to be using the scallop contour dies on the second alternate as well. And we're going to be using that same size in Flirty Flamingo. And we're going to be using the next size down in Very Vanilla. So we're going to cut all 3 of those at once. So we're going to cut this piece first. Okay, so Flirty Flamingo ink. You could use Blushing Bride too, if you would want to. I was playing with Blushing Bride earlier, and this is what Blushing Bride looks like on the Very Vanilla when it has its full color. And this is what it looks like when it's been stamped off once. So I liked both of them, but I just think that the softer pink is so pretty, almost like a baby pink. Okay, and I didn't do a stamp off for this one. For Flirty Flamingo, but I bet you that one's gorgeous too. So I'm just going to go right around, all the way around here. All right, and then any, you know, space in here should be covered up by that piece. So we won't have to worry about that. So we'll come back to that in a minute. But the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to stamp these adorable little hearts with the arrows. Now I'm going to close this. And now we're going to do a little bit of our heat emboss work. So let me get this smaller piece. I'm going to be using my anti-static tool. I'm going to get out my Versamark ink, and now let me get that cute little stamp there. I keep alternating between more. I need to get more of these little baby blocks. And here we go. And the one thing I forgot to mention, if you are just new to subscribing to Paper Pumpkin, the first time you subscribe, you actually get a little block in your kit, and it actually says, you know, Paper Pumpkin on it. And you'll just use this block each month that you get a kit, and you can use that for your stamps. If you have extra blocks, of course, go ahead and use those. Okay, so I'm just going to use the Versamark ink. No particular, you know, order or pattern to this. I just want to stamp them all over this rectangle, but within the stitching. So I'm going to get out a piece of scrap paper. Trying not to touch it. There we go. And then I'm going to use the gold Stampin' Emboss powder. There we go. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that looks really good. Okay. I'm going to set that aside for just a second. We're going to get our heart too. That one is a little tighter squeeze, so want to make sure that looks good. Just going to set that down for a second. That's going to be the tricky one. If you have tweezers or something like that that you can use to hold so that you don't burn your fingers with your heat tool, definitely use those. I do have tweezers, but I'm seeing that they're not in their location, so I'm just gonna rough it. They're probably inside the basket. All right, so we'll start with this one. There we go. Okay, so the next part of this is we're actually going to color in these hearts with the Stampin' Blends. You could use your Stampin' Right marker too if you have it. I'm going to use the dark, and I'm going to use the bullet tip side. These are small, so really, really cute. At least I think I used dark. Let me just see. Did I use light or dark? Looks a little bit darker, huh? Let's see if I use the light. I want to tell you the right color. So light flirty flamingo. And we'll see which one it is. It's definitely dark. And I definitely prefer the dark. I definitely like the dark one better. But if you would want to do them in tricolor or double, two colors, you could do that. Oh, here, see, it's drying and it looks a little bit lighter. Okay. I was like, I thought I used dark. So let's do one of each. So this way we can see what that looks like. Okay, so you can decide where you would like to put your sending you love here. So typically, if I mess up, you know, if I make a mistake, I will cover it with something. So I could kind of put it in the center right here, and I don't think that anybody would notice. On this one, I just decided to do it in the corner. I just thought it looked cute there. So you can put it wherever you want. I'm going to put this one in the center since I had a little bit of overlap there. But you can put those wherever you like. I'm going to put this up on dimensionals as well. Okay, just going to center that. And this is from the Love and Happiness dies. I can't remember what the die set is called, but the bundle is called Love and Happiness. Okay, and then I just put 3 of those sequins just around my project here. It's just wherever looks good. I'll put them around the heart. How about that? All right, and so here is the first alternate card. And then for the second alternate card, we're going to be working with this one here, and you guys can decide. I actually colored the the border here with the Flirty Flamingo Dark. And it's totally up to you if you want to do that with your layer or not. But we're going to start with the stamps. And what I did was I used this little Fill Heart stamp here. I just thought it was the cutest stamp. So sweet. And we're just going to do this. I'm going to try to stick to the same pattern, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So I'm going to get my Flirty Flamingo ink. Again, here we go. All right, and then the way basically that I did this, and let me do my anti-static thing. Oh, I don't need it yet. I don't need it yet. Okay, so we're going to do our color first. And I just tried to go like here. And then kind of step it over to the side a little bit. There. And then do another one down here. Okay, so I'm going to hit this with the heat tool so I can try to set this ink really quick. Okay, so if you're going to do an overlay here with the heart and your word, and we're going to heat emboss it, sometimes that extra powder can stick to the ink that we've stamped down for our hearts. So for me, that's just a little extra sparkle. But if that really bothers you, I would say just try to heat set it first. Make sure you do your anti-static tool, and it should be okay. I should really, if I'm going to heat emboss all the time, I should probably do like a 101 about it, like a 101 series. Okay, so I'm just going to get, I was kind of tapping out some of that powder there because I've been using this thing a lot. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get that Love You stamp, and we're just going to stamp this in repeat with our Versamark ink over and over each heart. Can't mess it up. All right, so let me show you why I colored my border. Okay, so you can either do another layer of Flirty Flamingo, right? So you don't have to go and color all of that. You could just do like another rectangle close in size and just have that little pop of color behind it if you want. I felt like it got a little washed out and I really didn't want to do the extra layer. So I just decided to color it. That is something that I typically do if I have like frames with my stitching and my scalloped dies. So I'm gonna do that. You don't have to do that. Totally up to you. Let me get my scrap paper out. And we're just gonna color it in. So it's just kind of that quick and easy way to, oh, and the other thing is you will have that embossing, the anti-static powder on there. So just give it a little wipe so that that's off of there before you start coloring with your marker. Okay, but I'm going to use that bullet tip side again. The brush tip side might be good too, but when I try to do like precision coloring with my larger tip, I tend to go over the line. So here are the alternate cards. I will do more. We'll do that in a separate video. And then here are our paper pumpkin cards, and you're gonna fold them in like this, okay? And tuck them into your envelope there. And then here is the very vanilla version with the Love You More. Oh my gosh, it's the cutest kit, you guys. So if you need more information on Paper Pumpkin, you can go to paperpumpkin.com, or you could go to my blog at stampingwithhart.blogspot.com. And I have a Paper Pumpkin link there too if you want to sign up for the kits with me. And that's it. So I will see you guys again on Sunday at 7:30 p.m. And thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. Bye-bye.